All right, we are live. Let's mute that. Today we're playing Elder Scrolls Morrowind and continuing with finding and reading all the books in the game. So, let's see. What is this? I'll close out of that. Whatever. Okay. So last time we got to. Well, we did find a couple new books as well at the very end there, so we'll probably be able to just read those right away. And okay, that should be. Oh wait, I should do. By subject. There we go. Okay. Now we're all set. Just before this, I was finishing up another um audiobook like video, right? That I'll just post to the channel. Um I got some feedback on one of the previous ones. So I've hopefully actually my mic is kind of hold on. There we go. That should be better. Got a bit of feedback, um, and also improved something that nobody mentioned but was bothering me. Um, so that I was doing like on the videos, I was doing pauses uh between page turns, right? So if I like open the book here, I would read the two pages, then have, you know, that sound effect happen. So I'm just now realizing that I think I've been using the turning the page backwards sound effect on X. Whatever. No, I've been using the right one, I think. I'm gonna have to make sure now. Does not matter that much. But yeah, so I was doing like reading these two pages, pausing, hitting next, reading the next two, right? Um, so instead of doing that, I've just read it all at once, like read it from the website basically, and and then added in the book page sound effect. Oh, game audio is not on. But yeah, so hopefully that'll be better. And yeah, and also it's a longer one. It's the video I guess is going to be like 15 minutes. So that's nice as well. Now here, oh, Provinces of Chamriel. I didn't think this would. I honestly did not think this was going to be a book. That'll be a good one to read as well, probably. All right. Well, should I just go ahead and hop right in? We have the buying game, which
I'm
oh wait,
waiting.
got one more thing. I forgot my pen and notebook. There it is. Okay, we got everything. So, let's... I might as well start with the provinces of Tamriel. I'm certain I haven't read this, since I didn't even realize it was like a full thing that you could read. So, we'll read this one. So, provinces of Tamriel, and then we have a nice map here of all the provinces. So Morrowind, that's where I'm at right now. I guess specifically we'll be on this island right here, right? I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So yeah, we're like on this sort of. Is that correct? Second guessing myself now. Whatever. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to look this up later as well. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Unless it's this. No. No, it's gotta be that, right? Ugh, whatever. Yes, we got Morrowind here. Skyrim, Oblivion takes place in Cyrodiil here. Cool. Alright. The Empire of Tamriel encompasses the 9 imperial provinces Skyrim, High Rock, Hammerfell, Somerset Isle, Valenwood, Elsewhere, Blackmarsh, Morrowind, and the ancient imperial province itself, Cyrodiil. Morrowind was among the last of the provinces to be integrated into the Empire, and because it was added by treaty and not by conquest, Morrowind retains exceptional power to define local law by reference to ancient Great House precedents. Skyrim, also known as the Old Kingdom, or the Fatherland, was the first region of Tamriel settled by humans from the continent of Atmora. The hardy, brave, warlike Nords whose descendants still occupy this rugged land. Though more restrained and civilized than their barbarian ancestors, the Nords of the pure blood still excel in the manly virtues of red war and bold exploration. Hammerfell is primarily an urban and maritime province, with most of its population confined to the great cities of Sentinel, Strass-Mackay, and to other small ports among the islands and along the coast. The interior is sparsely populated with small poor farms and beast herds. The Redguard love of travel, adventure, and the high seas has dispersed them as sailors, mercenaries, and adventurers in ports of call throughout the Empire. High Rock encompasses the many lands and clans of the Greater Brittany, the Delisi Isles, the Bulse River tribes, and by tradition, the Western Reach. The rugged highland strongholds and isolated valley settlements have encouraged the fierce independence of the various local Breton clans, and this contentious tribal nature has never been completely integrated into a provincial or imperial identity. Nonetheless, their language, bardic traditions, and heroic legends are a unifying common legacy. The Somerset Isles is a green and pleasant land of fertile farmland, woodland parks, and ancient towers and manors. Most settlements are small and isolated, and dominated by ruling seats of the local wizard or warlord. The isle has few good natural ports, and the natives are unwelcoming of foreigners. So the ancient chivalric nature of the high culture of the Altmer is little affected by the modern imperial mercantilism. Valenwood is a largely uninhabited forest wilderness. The coasts of Valenwood are dominated by mangrove swamps and tropical rainforests. While heavy rainfalls nurture the tempered inland rainforest, the Bosmer live in timber clan houses at sites scattered along the coast and through the interior, connected only by undeveloped foot trails. The few imperial roads traverse vast, dense woodlands studded with tiny, widely separated settlements and carry little trade or traffic of any kind. The Khajiit of the southern elsewhere jungles and rivers basins are settled city dwellers with ancient mercantile traditions and a stable Argarian aristocracy based on sugarcane and citrus plantations. The nomadic tribal Khajiit of the dry northern wastes and grasslands are, by contrast, aggressive and territorial tribal raiders, periodically united under the tribal warlords. While the settled South has been quick to adopt imperial ways, the northern nomadic tribes cling to their warlike barbarian traditions. Most of the native Argonian populations of Black Marsh is confined to the great inland waterways and impenetrable swamps of the southern interior. There are few roads here, and most travel is by boat. The coasts and northwest upland forests are largely uninhabited. For ages, the Dunmer have raided Black Marsh for slaves. Though the Empire has made this illegal, the practice persists, and Dunmer and Argonians have long-standing and bitter hatred for one another. Morrowind, homeland of the Dunmer people, is the northeastmost province of the Tamrielic Empire. Most of the population is gathered in the high uplands and fertile river valleys of the central Morrowind, especially around the inland sea. The island of Vardenfell is encircled by the inner sea and is dominated by a titanic volcano, Red Mountain, and its associated ash wastelands. Most of the island's population is confined to the relatively hospitable west and southwest coast. Cyrodiil is the cradle of human imperial high culture on Tamriel. It is the largest region of the continent, and most of it is endless jungle. The imperial city is in the heartland of the fertile Nibini Valley. The densely populated Central Valley is surrounded by a wild rainforest, drained by great rivers into the swamps of Argonia and Topal Bay. The land rises gradually to the west and sharply to the north. Between its western coast and its Central Valley are deciduous forests and mangrove swamps. This is an interesting one as well, because, Cyrodiil isn't really like that in Oblivion. And it's kind of a retcon in Oblivion, because, you play Oblivion and it's just plains. They didn't, I think it was something like a technical limitation for adding forests, having forests be the whole map for Cyrodiil, in the Oblivion game. So they sort of retconned it into Cyrodiil having always been kind of plains, right? That being their, I guess, biome. And the way they retconned it is they said, oh, Tiber Septim, when he became a god, he decided he wanted Cyrodiil to be and have always been fertile land. And fertile plains, and that's how they retconned it. I think that's what I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But I guess this is from before that this is Morrowind, so before that decision was made, I guess. Alright, let's go ahead and mark that off. Pretty sure that is going to be in the travel section. So this was called Provinces of Tamriel. So that is one more book to check off. So satisfying. Next book. Certain I haven't read this. And that is even more certainty right there. Alright. How long is this? Okay, it's not too long. Sometimes I worry. When the book is like 20, 30 pages, whew, that takes a while to get through. Alright. The Buying Game by Abadel Timsar Dadasun. So many people simply buy the items they need at the price they are given. It's a very sad state of affairs when the game is really open to all. You don't need an invitation, and it is a game, the game of bargain, to be played seriously, and I hasten to add politely. Elsewhere, it is common for the shop owner to offer the prospective buyer tea or sweetmeats and engage in polite conversations before commencing the business. This is an eminently civilized tradition, has a practical purpose, allowing the buyer to observe the wares for sale. It is considered impolite not to accept, though it does not imply obligation on the part of the buyer. Whether this particular custom is part of the culture or not, it's wise for the buyer and seller to greet one another with smiles and warm salutations, like gladiators honoring one another before the battle. Bargaining is expected all over Tamriel, but the game can be broken if one's offer is so preposterously low that it insults the shopkeeper. If you are offered something for 10 gold pieces, try offering 6 and see where that takes you. Do not look like you're very interested, but do not mock the quality of the goods, even if they deserve it. Much better to admire the quality of workmanship, but comment that, regretfully, you simply cannot afford such a price. When the shopkeeper compliments your taste, you smile, but try to resist the flattery. A lot of the game depends on recognizing the types of shopkeepers, not automatically assuming that the rural merchant is ignorant and easily fooled, or the rapacious city merchant is selling shoddy merchandise. Caravans, it should be mentioned, are always good places to go to buy or trade. Knowing what you're buying and from whom is a talent bought only after years of practice. Knowing the specialties of certain regions and merchants before you even step foot into a shop. Recognizing, too, the prejudice of the region. In Morrowind, where I hail from, for example, Argonians are viewed with a certain amount of suspicion. Don't be surprised or insulted if the shopkeeper follows you around the shop, assuming you're going to steal something. Similarly, Nords, Bretons, and Cyrodiils are sometimes treated coolly by merchants in the Somerset Isles. Of course, I don't know any shopkeepers anywhere, no matter their open-mindedness, who aren't alerted when a Khajiit or a Bosmer enter their shop. Even Khajiit and Bosmer shopkeepers. If you see something you really like or need, buy it. Then and there, at the best price you can get. I cannot tell you how many times I passed up a rare and interesting relic, assuming I could find it elsewhere in the region. Perhaps at a larger town, at a better price. Too late. I discovered I was wrong, and when I returned to the shop weeks later, the item I wanted was gone. Better to get a great purchase at a decent price and discover it again at a worse price than to miss out on your opportunities for ownership. Occasionally, impulsiveness is the best buying strategy. Sense the moves of the game, and everyone can win. Okay, I definitely do not agree with that. What the fuck? If you want something, just go buy it? Bro. That's terrible advice. That last section there, I don't think is good advice at all. Like, maybe, I mean, this is also, I guess, taking place in universe, right? So this would apply to in-universe logic where, mass manufacturing isn't a thing that exists in this world. So, everything's handcrafted. So it would be the case that if you see something you want, probably not going to be able to find it very easily somewhere else because everything's, I guess, handcrafted here. So in that sense, I guess it makes sense, but in today's world, if you see something you want, you can probably wait a month to really decide whether you actually need it, especially if it's some random mass marketed, mass produced kind of thing, which just about everything is. But, yeah, nice book. Other than the last section, interesting. But also, I think that's all the books here that I know of. I'll have to be on the hunt. Oh wait, I need to mark that off. Let's see, that's probably going to be in the section of instruction research. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, goodness. I constantly complain about it, but it really is annoying how I decided to do this notebook. Alright, the buying game. go ahead and check that off. Alright. Now, I guess on we go.
I'm waiting.
Try to find some more books. So, let's see if Saran has anything else. Maybe the pawnbroker has something. Ooh, Constellation of the Prayer, Biography of Baronzaya 2. Well, this isn't the real Baronzaya, which I have read all the way through. But I've also read through all the regular biography as well. Sirius Akavir I've definitely also read. Don't imagine he's going to have anything in his crates there. Let's see. What books do you have? Okay, he doesn't even... Oh. That's a shield. Yeah, it doesn't look like he has any books for sale. Even though he's got a couple on the shelf. Let's sneakily go upstairs and discover that he has nothing else. Next building. The Outfitter. Maybe? Could be. Oh? Vernacus and Borlore. I have read that. I think I read that recently. Because I remember having trouble finding it in my notebook. Wish there were more games with fun books. Even Baldur's Gate 3 didn't have fun books. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I mean, the Elder Scrolls series is really the only game I can think of that has tons of books in it. Right? Fallout has the terminals, I guess, where you can read some stories in them, I think. I don't know, are there any? Yeah, I can't think of any other series, yeah. Let's see, what other games have I played recently? I imagine mainly it's going to be RPGs that have it. But, yeah, I can't think of any other game like that. With just books laying around. Which, honestly, it's so insane how many books there are in this game. Like, it is not at all necessary, right? There's no reason for them to have gone so hard and, like, added so many books. You know, you can play the game. It's a really good game, right? All the Elder Scrolls games. You can play through the whole main storyline, never open any of those books. Like, maybe there's a quest or two where you just have to open the book to get the quest to progress. But you don't have to actually read any book in the whole game. And there's like 300 books with super intricate and cool lore.
Quickly, Outlander, or go away.
And they just threw that in there. It's so cool. I love it. I agree to a point, but I doubt I'm the only one that collected and read books for the fun of it. No. I don't think you're the only one. I just think it's like crazy that they did that. Because, I mean, you know, there's lots of people that do enjoy... I think. There's lots of people that enjoy the, finding all the books, collecting them, and that type of stuff. But it doesn't seem like... How do I say it? Like, you know, there's lots of people that like collecting items in the game. You know, you got unique items, and then lots of games will just have a bunch of unique items, and then there will be players that'll just collect those items. You know, and in that way, you know, the books could also fit that purpose. But usually if it's like, you know, the type of thing where you're collecting items in a game, it's like, okay, you collect them, but they're not really all that useful. It's just cool that you get them. Whereas the books, it's cool that you've
Make it
collected
quick,
every book in the
Outlander.
game. But then on top of that, there's just tons of cool lore in them as well. And I think the books are awesome. But it also just seems like so much effort for a pretty underappreciated aspect that like the average player is not going to care about. Like dedicated players are gonna love it, read all the books. I think I've already been here in here, haven't I? But like the average player is never gonna pick up like any of the books and read them. Um, so I don't know. I just think it's crazy that they actually did it, and I think it's awesome that they did it because the books are great. Yeah, true. And attention span isn't getting longer on average. Oh yeah, no. Attention span is quite the thing. Oh no. How do I get out? Yeah, like I was talking to someone recently and they were like, "Yeah, I don't watch any YouTube videos that are more than 10 minutes." Like if there's a this is a mod pack. Well, it's OpenMW, and then I've downloaded a couple mods as well. So OpenMW is a open source game engine. And then I downloaded like a HD texture pack to make the, that makes the game look a little bit better. And then OpenMW has a feature where it changes how the water looks. Um, and there is also a grass mod over there, so you can see some grass. In the city, it's not all too noticeable. Um, but yeah, and then there's a UI mod that also makes uh the text a bit nicer. I can tell you the name of all those mods as well if you want. Um, Open MW launcher. Okay, so thanks, Amy. I'll quit chatting Forbidden Watch. Sorry to distract you. I do enjoy your book reading vids. Oh, it's all good, man. At this point, I'm struggling to find more books because I've found all the easy ones. So, it's starting to get challenging. So, OpenMW for the game engine, then Vert's ground cover for grass. Um, then there's yet another guard diversity to make the guards look more unique and not all look the same. There's better bodies to give people better bodies. All books colored and designed to make the books look nicer. Um, there should be more. Well, there's the HD texture mod, which I guess isn't showing on the list here. I can go here. And then Chocolate UI is the UI that I'm using. But yeah, I mean, you can find all the mods on Nexus. Pretty easy. But yeah, at this point, I'm struggling to find books that I haven't read yet.
But make it quick.
I mean, I've been doing this. Also, thank you for saying you enjoy my book reading vids. It's appreciated. But yeah, at this point, I'm kind of struggling to find books. I've found all the easy ones. I've been doing this for what, like, probably like 25 hours. The Mirror. Have I read that? I think I have. Let's go through the notebook that I did not do. Because I did it. I went on UESP, which is a great website for, great wiki. And they have a list of Morrowind books by subject. And I copied that down on a notebook. And I should not have done it that way. Because honestly, it just makes it harder to find the book. I should have just done it in alphabetical order. Because how am I supposed to know just based off of the title what category it's in? I have read the mirror. Okay. I'm just going through people's houses and the card towers and stuff. What reminds you of the Morrowind journal system versus the expansion? What do you mean, the expansion? The real life version of learning that lesson, yeah. No, on my first playthrough of Morrowind, I just I kept a notebook and wrote down all the, because I didn't like how this journal looked and how it worked, so I bought myself a little notebook and just wrote down all the quests and missions and like all the directions and kept it laid out in a slightly better way than the actual journal, and that was so fun. Forget the expansion name of Morrowind. They changed the journal system in it. Okay. I mean, there's more. There's Tribunal and there's Solstheim, or does it have a different name? Check real quick. It's Tribunal and Blood Moon. The original one was really bad. Oof. Okay. Well, I mean, even this one, it is okay. Honestly, I saw it on like when I first wanted to play the game. I saw it on, I saw some posts on Reddit, and they're like, yeah, the journal sucks. Just have a notebook yourself and do it that way. Or I think it was actually a joke. It was like a meme where someone was like, yeah, you need a journal. You need to keep a notebook to be able to play Morrowind. It was some meme, and I was like, that is sweet. I love that. So I did do that. It was nice. I liked it. Yeah, those are it. Yeah, no, I mean, the notebook's okay. You like the journal, it's okay. You can use it. But honestly, having your own notebook makes the game so fun as well. Because
where would you like to go?
Like it just feels so cool. Like you talk to an NPC and then they're like, "Oh, you have to go to these directions." And they're like, "Okay, let me write that down." It felt nice and immersive. I really liked it. I don't know. The the being given directions is fun. It's cool, but sometimes it's a bit tricky. I do like it a lot more than quest markers for sure, though. What is this? Underworks, okay. The quest markers that Skyrim have are, ugh. Like if I, whenever I launch Skyrim and I see the quest marker, I'm like, oh, I know I'm just gonna follow it because it's easy, but I feel bad about it because, just being given directions is more fun. Alright, House Redoran, let's see if you have any good books.
What say you?
But yeah, I started with, my first Elder Scrolls game was Skyrim. I loved Skyrim. I played like close to 1,000 hours of Skyrim. Sermon 13. Before I ever tried any other Elder Scrolls games. So I played tons and tons of Skyrim. I watched tons and tons of lore videos. And after all that, I tried Morrowind, and I was like, damn, this is so much better. I love it so much. And then Morrowind became my favorite. But the whole Elder Scrolls universe, I just love the lore in it. I'm kind of obsessed with it. Alright, this is one of the lessons I haven't read yet, which is good. There's 36 of them, and I've only read like 3. For some reason, the lessons of Vivek are hard to find. I would have thought they would have them like all the lessons at the Library of Vivek. That library, is pretty disappointing. They don't even have their own lessons. But, oh well. Alright, the 36 Lessons of Vivek. Sermon 13. These were the days of Resdania, when Keimer and Dwemer lived under the wise and benevolent rule of the Almsevi and their champion of the Hortator, when the gods of Veloth would retreat unto their own to mold the cosmos and other matters, the Hortator would at times become confused. Vivek would always be there to advise him, and this is the second of the 3 lessons of ruling kings. The secret syllable of royalty is this: you must learn this elsewhere. The temporal myth is man. The magical cross is an integration of worth of mortals at the expense of their spirits. Surround it with the triangle and you begin to see the triune house. It becomes divided into corners, which are ruled by our brethren, the 4 corners. Baal, Dagon, Malak, Sheog. Rotate the triangle and you pierce the heart of the beginning palace, the foul lie, the testament of the irrefutable for a span. Above them all is the horizon where only one stands. Though no one stands there yet, it is proof of the new. It is the promise of the wise. Unfold the whole, and what you have is a star, which is not my domain, but not entirely outside my judgment. The grand design takes flight. It is transformed not only into a star, but a hornet. The center cannot hold. It becomes devoid of lines and points. It becomes devoid of anything, and so becomes a receptacle. This is its usefulness at the end. This is its promise. The sword is the cross, and Almsevi is the triune house around it. If there is to be an end, I must be removed. The ruling king must know this, and I will test him. I will murder him time and again, until he knows this. I am the defender of the last, and the last. To remove me is to refill the heart that lay dormant at the center that cannot hold. I am the sword, Aim the star, Set the mechanism that allows the transformation of the world. Ours is the duty to keep the compromise from being filled with the Black Sea. The Sharmat sleeps at the center. He cannot bear to see it removed. The world of reference, this is the folly of the false dreamer. This is the amnesia of dream, or its power, or its circumvention. This is the weaker magic, and it is barbed in venom. This is why I say, the secret to swords is the mercy seat. It is my throne, and I am become the voice of Almsevi. The world will know me more than my sister and brother. I am the psychopomp. I am the killer of the weeds of Beloth. Beloth is the center that cannot hold. Aim is the plot. Set is the ending. I am the enigma that must be removed. These are why my words are armed to the teeth. The ruling king is to stand against me and then before me. He is to learn from my punishment. I will mark him to know. He is to come as male or female. I am the form he must acquire. Because a ruling king that sees in another his equivalent rules nothing. This is what was said to the Hortator when Vivek was not whole. The ending of the words is Almsevi. Okay. Vivek, man, I do not understand a single thing that he says. I know there's like hidden messages in the 36 lessons. I don't really know them. I learned about them probably years ago at this point. But at this point, I don't really remember them. It sounds cool, the 36 lessons, but I do not understand what it's supposed to be about. I barely get it. Anything at all about it, but sounds cool. Maybe if I read them all, I'll be enlightened and completely understand Vivek. But that seems slightly unlikely. Grasping Fortune. Oh, I haven't read that. I think I have.
Quickly, Outlander. I haven't much time.
very least we
I can
found
kill that guar.
quite a
Those boots are
few.
ruined.
Oh, those are clothing. Quite a few that I haven't read yet. Spirit of
Probably
Nern,
nothing.
God of Mortals. That's religion as well. Probably have. What are you saying, man? Yeah. Oh, hold on. Yeah, I have. Okay. On to the next area. Oh, I remember what I was doing in Suran. I was gonna try to go to some
You like to dance close to
plantation.
the fire, don't you? Have something to
Spit it out
say
or
to
hit
me?
the road.
Do I remember which plantation or anything about that?
These
No.
Delver are useless.
I just know it was somewhere close to Suran. What's this? Dunmer Temple. Maybe. There's usually at least a couple books in the temples.
What do you want?
But I've been in some temples
Quickly, Outlander.
before,
I haven't
so
much time.
it's probably not much new.
Speak, traveler.
House of Troubles, The Brothers of Darkness, Anticipations, Lives of Saints, Consolations of Prayer. Oh! Sermons. 789. I have not read all three of those. Nice. Getting a lot of Vivek sermons today. Alright, let's start with lesson 36, sermon 7. The 36 Lessons of Vivek, sermon 7. As the caravan of Nerevar now made for the capital of Veloth, Almanlexia, there came great rumblings from the Oblivion. A duke among the scamps wandered into the House of Troubles, pausing before each scripture door to pay his respects, until finally he was met by the Major Damo of Mehrunes Dagon. The Duke of Scamps said, I was summoned by Lord Dagon, master of the foul waters and fire. I have brought the penance of my 7 legions. The Major Domo, whose head was a bubble of foul water and fire, bowed low so that the head of the Duke of Scamps became enclosed in his own. He saw the first pennant, which commands a legion of grim warriors who could die at least twice. He saw the second pennant, which commanded a legion of winged bulls and the Emperor of Color that rode upon each. He saw the third pennant, which commanded a legion of inverted gorgons, great snakes whose scales were the faces of men. He saw the fourth pennant, which commanded a legion of double-crossed lovers. He saw the fifth pennant, which commanded a legion of jumping wounds looking to hop onto a victim. He saw the sixth pennant, which commanded a legion of abridged planets. He saw the seventh pennant, which commanded a legion of armored winning moves. To which the Major Duke Damo said, Duke Kuta, your legions, while mighty, are not enough to destroy Nerevar or the Triune Way. Look upon the Hortator and see the wisdom he takes to his wife. They looked into the middle of the world and saw, evaporating in a throng of thunder, of red war and Chitin men, where destinies take him further from our ways, the heat that we have wanted, and pray they still remember, where destines clothe the distance, glad in the golden east that we saw it now, instead of the war and repair of the oblivious fracture, a curse on the Hortator, and 2 more on his hands. And the Duke of Scamps saw the palms of the Hortator, upon which the egg had written these words of power, Gartok Padame, Gartok Padame. The ending of the words is Omsivi. Okay, so Duke of Scamps, I don't think I've heard that before. Sounds cool. I guess the Scamps have a Duke. Interesting. Went up to Mehrunes Dagon and they I guess laid a curse on him? Okay. Don't know how that's related to Vivek, but cool. 30. Hmm. The 36 Lessons of Vivek, Sermon 8. And presently Nerevar and Vivek were within the sight of the capital and four corners of the houses of troubles. Knew it was not time to contest them. The caravan musicians made a great song of the entrance, and the elven gates of the morning hold were thrown wide. Ayim was accompanied by her husband's state, a flickering image that was channeled to her ever-changing female need. Around her were the shouts, a guild now forgotten, who carried with them the whims of the people, for the Velothi then were still mostly good at heart. The shouts were the counselors of Ayim and the country. Though they sometimes quarreled and needed Set to bring them into usefulness, Ayim approached Nerevar, who was by now adorned by the flags of House Indoril. He gifted her with the simulacrum of the Netchmen's wife and the egg of Vivek inside. Ayim said to Nerevar, Set, who is Azura, has revealed that war is come, and that the Hortator that shall deliver us will approach a solution walking at his side. Nerevar said, I have traveled out of my way to warn you of the deceit of your enemies, the Dwemer, but I have learned much on my journey, and I have changed my mind. This Netchman's wife you see at my side is a sword and a symbol that there is a prophecy inside. It tells me that, like it, we must for a while be like he is, and as a people, cloaked in our former enemies, and to use their machines without shame. At which Vivek spoke aloud. Boethia, who as you wore the skin of Tritomac to cleanse the faults of Veloth, my queen, and so it should be again. This is the walking way of the glorious. Set appeared out of a cloud of iron vapor, and his minions made of their blood a chair. He sat beside Ayim and looked on the rebirth of mastery. Vivek said to them, his triune, my rituals and ordeals and all the rhymes within use no other motive than the revelation of my skin. Ayim said, Ayim I Seti I Vek, we are delivered and make whole, the diamond of the black hands is uncovered. Set said, wherever so he treads there is invisible scripture, to which the shouts were silent in sudden reading. Vivek then reached out from the egg all his limbs and features, merging with the simulacrum of his mother, grilled and blended in all the sorts of the star-wounded east, under water and in fire, and in metal and in ash. 6 times the wise, he became the union of male and female, the magic hermaphrodite, the martial axiom, the sex death of the language, and unique in all the middle world. He said, let us now guide the hands of the Hortator in war and its aftermath, for we go different, and in thunder this is our destiny. The ending of the words is Psalm CV. Man, these are hard to understand. I mean, I kind of get this one, seems more like a story, but they're also hard to read. There's so much weird shit going on. Alright, lesson 9. The 36 Lessons of Vivek, Sermon 9. Then came the war with the northern men, where Vivek did guide the Hortator into swift and tricky union with the Dwemer. The greatest demon chieftains of the frigid west were those listed below, 5 in unholy number. Hoaga, the mouth of mud, who appeared as a great bearded king, had the powers of marshalling and breathing the earth. On the battlefields, this demon would often be seen on the sidelines, eating the soil voraciously. When his men fell, Hoaga would fill their bodies back with it, whereupon they would rise again and fight, albeit slower. He had a secret name, Fenya, and destroyed 17 Chimeri villages and 2 Dwemer strongholds before being turned away. Kemua, the running hunger, who appeared as a mounted soldier with a full helm, had the powers of heart roaring and of the sky sickening. He ate the Chimeri hero Dress Kizumeti, sending the spirit back to the Hortator as an assassin, sometimes called First Blight. Kemua could give clouds stomach aches and turn the rain of Veloth into bile. He destroyed 6 Chimeri villages before he was slain by Vivek and the Hortator. Bag, the two-tongued, who appeared as a great bearded king, had the powers of surety and form change. His raiders were small in number, but ran amok in the west hinterlands, killing many Velothi trappers and scouts. He fell into a great debate with Vivek, for the warrior poet alone could understand the northern man's two-layered speech, though Almsivi had to remain invisible during the argument. Barfok, Maid of Plains, who appeared as a winged human with lichen-crusted spear, had the powers of event denouement. Battles fought against her would always end in victory for Barfok, because she could shape outcomes by singing. 4 Chimeri villages and 2 more Dwemeri strongholds were destroyed by her decision enforcement. Vivek had to scuff her mouth with his milk finger to keep her from singing. Veloth into ruin. Milk finger, huh? Ysmir, the Dragon of the North, who always appears as a great bearded king, had powers of innumerable and echoing. He was grim and dark, and the most silent of the invading chieftains, though when he spoke, villages were uplifted and thrown into the sea. The Hortator fought him unarmed, grabbing the dragon's roars by hand until Ysmir's throat bled. These roars were given to Vivek to bind into an ebony listening frame, which the warrior poet placed on Ysmir's face and ears to drive him mad and drive him away. The coming forth and driving away brings all things around. What I shall say next is unpleasant to record. Hermamora, Altadun, Altadun. The ending words is on CV. Okay. Interesting. I don't really know what to say about the sermons of Vivek. You know, at the end there, the milk finger seemingly being forcibly put in someone's mouth. Very strange, Vivek. Very strange.
Quickly, Outlander. I haven't much time.
Ooh, this is a nice room here.
Go away.
Nice room.
I will listen, Outlander, but make it quick.
Okay, no books here. Well, we're doing good. We've read quite a few books already today. Alright, but I believe that is all for the temple.
You have something to say to me?
Okay, got a hostel here. I don't think there's going to be any books in the hostel. Oh, there are.
Yes, friend.
Yeah, I've already read all those.
Don't stand about.
A lot of people reading the House of Troubles, it seems.
If you want something, now's the time to talk.
My time is precious, so make... No, I don't think so.
You have something to say to me?
You know what? I think I might just call it a night. I kind of feel like now that I'm doing the more polished version for videos, this series kind of feels awkward. Because when I'm reading, I'm like, wait, now that I'm doing the like more polished videos and I guess audiobooks, I'm noticing how I'm messing up a lot more now. And it feels a bit strange to just read in one take and just make lots of mistakes. that I can't just like cut out or start over really. But I don't know, it's good practice as well. Because having to cut out all the mistakes is also pretty fucking annoying.
Let's hear it.
Like for the most recent, the one I just made, I haven't published it yet. It's 33.
Speak, traveler.
I haven't read that one. But yeah, for the one I'm planning on posting soon, I'll come back to that one. So I'm probably
Go
gonna end
ahead.
this stream here very soon. The one I'm planning on posting
Speak, traveler.
probably tomorrow.
Quickly, Outlander.
I recorded like
haven't much
30
time.
minutes of
Speak
recorded
quickly,
like 30
Outlander, or
minutes.
Go away.
and I cut that down to like
Go ahead.
15. Right. So it feels awkward going one take on stream and having that be, just the take. Not being able to cut down a bunch. Alright. Let's go back to the last actually,
Make
yeah,
it quick,
let's
Outlander.
call it a night. Alright. I hope you guys had a good time. I had a good time, just felt slightly awkward after getting used to being able to cut everything out. But yeah, have a nice day, nice night, whatever time zone you're in. Ending very early though. Feels weird to do that as well. Oh. Alright. Have a nice night, nice day, whatever time zone you're in. And yeah. Peace.